And we're down here at Skilled Stadium for the Sport Report on Good Morning Geelong. And we'll kick it off with news that North Shore junior Ricky Rose Mooring has been rubbed out for 8 weeks after kicking an opponent, Inverleigh player David McGregor, in the head during a fisticuff during their game over the weekend. It was actually the opening round of junior football, so not the result that the North Shore club was looking for there. Obviously an unsavoury incident and something hopefully they can bounce back from this weekend. Rose Mooring said he had been taunted throughout the game by Inverleigh fans and also his opponent, McGregor, and used that as possible reasoning for the action, although he still received a hefty ban, something which the tribunal definitely frowned upon. In soccer news, Geelong goalkeeper Joey Dijelica has won the Dutch title with AZ Alkmaar. There was one stage in 2007, I should say, where it looked as if Dijelica's career might end. He was down with chronic headaches, and he actually came back to Geelong for a 4-month stint, took some time off, and it's done very well for him. He's gone back over to Holland, been part of that title, and actually became their first choice keeper again. So well done to Joey Dijelica. His third title over there in the European leagues. I think he's one of only a few players to actually win 3 titles over there. Australian players to win 3 titles in Europe. So well done to Joey Dijelica and his side AZ Alkmaar on taking out that Dutch title. They are 11 points clear with only 3 games to go. So signed, sealed and delivered that victory in the Dutch Eredivisie. Great Ocean Road is to be part of the Herald Sun Tour from next year, with a leg from Anglesea to Barwon Heads likely to be one of the most challenging and also one of the most defining, according to ex-winners of the prestigious bike race. There will also be a 10-kilometre time trial at Geelong's Eastern Beach as part of the race, something which we'll be looking forward to holding down here in Geelong and something which has been taking part for a number of years. Obviously, it attracts a lot of fine cyclists, the Herald Sun Tour. In local football news this weekend, the game of the round in the Geelong Football League will be between St Joseph's and South Barwon, 2 currently undefeated sides. South Barwon, obviously their dynasty. A lot of people thought they'd drop off last year. They didn't end up making the grand final. They're 2 from 2 on top of the GFL table though at the moment. So they'll take on St Joseph's, another side, 2 wins from 2. At the other end of the table, St Mary's, last year's premiers. They currently sit 11th and they're in a lot of people think a lot of strife, but it's not panic stations according to the St Mary's coach down that way. They're playing Grovedale this weekend. They'll go in favourites and they'd expect to win St Mary's to kick off their season. So good luck to those 4 sides this weekend. Down on the Ballerine Peninsula in the Ballerine Football League, Ocean Grove and Geelong Amateurs highlight a fine round of BFL football in which Torquay also take on Barwon Heads, and the Anzac Day game will be held between Port Arlington and Drysdale, which started last year, the second of those games, and it's down at Port Arlington this year after being held at Drysdale. The match of the round though, Ocean Grove and Geelong Amateurs. The Amateurs, last year's premiers, also defeated last week like St Mary's, will be looking to bounce back from that loss to Torquay at Queen's Park when they travel down to Ocean Grove. It's going to be a very intense game. Geelong Amateurs still missing 9 or 10 from their starting side, so will be interesting to see how they fare against an Ocean Grove side that did a number on Newcombe last week. In the Geelong District Football League, Bellpost Hill, they'll be looking to carry on the form which saw them defeat last year's Premier Thompson, gaining a little bit of retribution for their grand final loss last year. They'll be taking on East Geelong, who were surprise losers to Belmont Lions last week. So 2 sides with different form lines meeting in the GDFL. Bellpost Hill are expected to be without Brent Gergich for at least 2 weeks, so there's 1 plus for East Geelong. They desperately need a win after going down to Belmont last week. It'll be very interesting to see how things fare out there at Bellpost Hill on the weekend. In local soccer news, North Geelong has won 4-1 over Sydenham, with Matt Demo scoring a hat-trick in that win. So well done to North Geelong. Brunswick did defeat Geelong Rangers, though, 2-1. Geelong won 1-0 over Westvale. A very tumultuous off-season has ended finally for them. They've got some points on the board after conceding 10 goals in the first 2 games. So good news there for Geelong, a very positive result, and hopefully they can carry on that form next week when they resume again. Corio also won. Bell Park, though, and Surf Coast will lose, as Surf Coast going down 1-0 in a chance where they had a myriad of chances, but unfortunately just couldn't put them away. We can't forget also the action that's going on down here on Sunday at Skilled Stadium. Gloomy weather expected for the game between Geelong and Brisbane. Should be a hotly contested contest. Michael Voss has his Brisbane side playing very well. Jonathan Brown still with a point to prove after a slow start to season 2009. Daniel Bradshaw held goalless last week as well in Brisbane's loss against Collingwood. So those 2 with a big point to prove. Darren Milburn likely to return for the Cats. So it'll be an interesting game to watch down here. And also the 12 millionth fan likely to come through the gates at Skilled Stadium this weekend. That fan, when they're identified, will also be tossing the coin before the game with the 2 captains. So good luck to everyone who is coming here on being that 12 millionth fan to come through the gates, because if you get to toss the coin, you might be part of history here down at Skilled Stadium. We've been down at Skilled Stadium chatting to Mark Thompson, and we asked Mark whether Brisbane's ruck stocks, which has lost Jamie Charman and Matthew Leuenberger over the last few weeks, would be a chance for the Cats to exploit that area.
Well, we've got no Ottens, so yeah, if they've got no ruckman, they might put a mobile person in the ruck, like a Clark, who probably the obvious choice.
Jared Brennan, maybe.
Yeah, Jared Brennan. So that's just another dimension to the game. Whether our big ruckmen that we pick are sort of able to keep up with those guys around the ground. So it's a good challenge for our boys.
We then asked Mark about Cameron Ling and when his likely return was, with the answer being 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's got a little tear in his Achilles, a very minor tear, so he should be out for a couple of weeks, which is a bit of a blow. But again, with the new technology, scans and everything else, we have identified that he has a tear and he's going to miss a couple of weeks.
With the weather forecast looking gloomy for Sunday for the game here at Skilled Stadium, we asked Mark what he thought about playing Brisbane under those conditions.
I think it's we're going to have some beautiful weather. When the game is scheduled here at Skilled Stadium, it always seems to be poor weather, but we can live with that. We play pretty well here, and we'll just take whatever weather comes.
Does that play on the mindsets of a team from Perth or Brisbane, because they come from those decent conditions all year round?
I can't answer that because I'm not in Perth or Brisbane or anything, so I'd have no idea.
Under new coach Michael Voss, Brisbane has been playing a different style, and we asked Mark what he thought the strength of that style of football was.
Oh, look, they're moving the ball through the corridor a lot better than they probably ever have, and obviously players are pretty excited about playing for a new coach, and there's a new sort of feeling amongst the players, and they're a pretty solid team.
While he's been earning plenty of free kicks over the first 3 rounds of the AFL season, Joel Selwood has attracted interest from other clubs who believe he may be getting treated unfairly by the umpires. Mark Thompson was not too happy when he heard of this.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Bartel, we actually want our players to get free kicks, and usually the umpire will pay free kicks to the team who are playing the ball and guys who are playing fairly. So, look, I haven't got a problem with the way Joel Selwood goes about playing his footy, and if he gets a lot of free kicks, well, good on him, he probably deserves them.
Thanks for that, Bomber. We hope everyone enjoys the game on Sunday down here at Skilled Stadium, and hope it's another win for Geelong to keep their season rolling on the right track. From all of us at Good Morning Geelong, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to your company again next week.